Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to put in a RV outlet on your circuit breaker panel. And this is going to be below the circuit breaker panel because I have two outlets that are already there at the moment. So this will be a removal and an install of the RV outlet. And you can see the first step is to turn off the circuit breaker power. So now there is no power going to any of the circuit breakers. And then I have a screw on the left, a screw on the right, and two at the bottom to take this front faceplate off. And once that plate comes off, you can see I have the neutral wires on the left and the neutral bar, and the ground wire and the ground bar on the right. And those are both behind the hot wires for the circuit breakers. And the circuit breaker that I'll be replacing is on the top right, and it said receptacle on it. And so I take the faceplate off down at the bottom here with a couple screws. And then I'll go ahead and take out the electrical outlets. And I do one at a time. And there's just 3 screws on the back of each outlet. Now they could be screws or push-in type that you have to push something into it to get the wires to release. So in this case there's 2 wires on the left, 1 on the right. And so right now I'm just looking at the outlet to see if I can put this RV outlet next to the regular outlet, but then nothing is lining up. So I go ahead and take out the other outlet. And then in the future, if I want to reuse this wiring or put another outlet box to the left of this box, I can reuse that wiring. So I will go ahead and wire cap all the wires and then put some electrical tape around each of the wire caps. And then you want to pull out the old wiring because that is 14 gauge, which is too thin for an RV outlet for 30 amp. So what I'll be using is a 10 gauge wire or 10 gauge wiring. And you can see it's in this orange sheathing here. I go ahead and pull the sheathing back, fish the wires through, and then I'll strip maybe ½ an inch off of the 2 wires, and then the bare copper wire is already ready to go. And then when you're cutting the sheathing, just be careful not to remove any of the coating off the other 2 wires. So what I try to go right down the center, which is where the bare copper wire is. And so I'm making it long enough so it goes all the way to the top of the circuit breakers. And then you just want to line up the holes with the proper wires. It'll say hot or black wire, and then it'll say neutral or white wire, or it'll say ground wire. So you just line up the holes with the wires. And then here I'm stripping maybe 3/4, maybe ½ inch off. So it goes all the way into the hole. And then I use a flathead screwdriver just to tighten up the screws once I push the wiring in. And you can buy electrical conduit, and you can buy the boxes. Say if you don't have a setup like this already, you can buy those pieces and put a box in pretty easily, and then just knock out a nickel-sized hole out of the bottom of your circuit breaker panel. So you can make your own box if there's not one already there. And so my first option was to just use this faceplate, and so I take out the centerpiece and then see how it looks. And I didn't like the way it looked because it had the two open gaps, one on each side there. And so I bought another faceplate, and this one you can buy at any home improvement store. So this one will fit that RV outlet just perfectly. And you just line up to see what circular cutout you need. And you just cut out the tabs. And I just unscrewed the mounting screws. I didn't pull them all the way out. Because it will line up without the screws being all the way out. Okay, and then once you slide that in, you can tighten the screws up. And you can see all the extra pieces. So you have a lot of different variations here. And so I use the dowel pins to put in the top cover. And you just push them in, out to in, left and right. Okay, and then once those are in, you can close it up, and there's a little catch on the right side. You just push that in to open it, or push it out to close it, to lock it. Okay, and it's all nice and weatherproof there. So the next thing is to pull out the old wiring and get all the new wiring in position. So you can see here I am loosening up the screw for the neutral side here for the old wiring, and then pulling that wire out. I think I've already got the power wire disconnected already. And so I am putting in the new ground wire and the new power wire, or the new hot wire, and you can't see it. I've already done it, but the circuit breaker just pulled right out. You maneuvered it at like a 45 from the back side. You just pull it out towards you, and then it can pull out. It may or may not have a screw attaching it to the panel there. And then I'm just tightening up the ground screw, and then I'm tightening up the hot wire that goes to the circuit breaker. And then on the left side, behind those hot wires, you have the neutral bar, and I just found a spot where I could add that neutral wire. You loosen up the screw, you strip a little bit off of the wire, just get it into position there, and bend at the right angle, and then tighten up the screw. And then you just want to push back all the wiring. That way your faceplate will fit back. And then I just push the wiring in at the bottom. Okay, and then the faceplate goes back on. And then you can turn the power back on. And then put the screws back into the faceplate. And you want to plug it in or make sure it works. And that's it. Hope this has been helpful. This has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your next home or automotive project.